Hello, Converge fans. Today we have a special pack. I don't know what what it means. I'm just making it up. SP07. I'm calling it a special pack because it's better than normal. Came out in 2016. It is this two set of the Providence Gundam with that chassis code and the Freedom Gundam. So both of them have a ZGMF, and then one is an X13A. This is an X10A. Okay. Promo pick there. Okay, so there's some basic specs. They're really tall robots, giant robots that are piloted by superhuman beings. It's weird they don't show. Oh, I guess that is the Providence one there. And over here, there's a little side panel there. So going to, looks brand new. Going to fandom here. These were both featured in Mobile Suit Gundam Seed, which sadly has been pulled down from YouTube, so I can't watch any more of it. And then we have some information here. So, equipped with a neutron jammer canceller. So I guess in this cartoon series, they have these neutron jammers which basically stop the fission of nuclear energy. So this thing cancels that because it's nuclear powered. And then a Dragoon system is a bunch of remote controlled like assault weapons. Look at this. This gum is pretty gross. Sorry, it's like blistering. Okay, and so that's pretty much what I learned about it. Looks like there's 43 beam guns on these 11 weapon pods. There's the focus again. I'm going to close this out now so you can pause and go back. There's some images from the same website. So let me get all these out of bags here. They have these cardboard things to keep them from getting damaged. You gotta be careful pulling these out. Several times now in these reviews, I would do this, but there'd still be a piece in there, and I'd have to go back into the trash barrel and fish it out. So I gotta be more conscious of the pieces literally falling out of these things before I throw them out, the bags away. So you'll see it has this clear foot stand, which is garbage. The things tend to stand without them. It's just kind of a waste of plastic, I think. So I think those are all the parts for the Freedom Gundam, which we'll do later. The box pretty much shows this one first, anyways, the Providence. So let's get that out. I don't know who that's for. Alright, so this is the backpack with some of these remote controlled pods. Matte gray. I haven't seen this Providence sold on its own, like within the Converge lineup. It's only in this special pack that it's available. Maybe in the future they'll release it on its own, but right now you have to buy this 2-pack. I know that Converge has the Freedom Gundam, I think as a special where it has printing on it, but I wanted to get the Providence as well, so. Alright, so this foot one actually has a stand as well. So I guess maybe this one actually is really back heavy when you put the backpack on. So there are instructions here if you want to pause and reread that there. I'll just put it here for now. So we'll go over these parts as I assemble it. So yeah, it's a matte gray finish. And it's got a whole lot of other cool colors. You know, the matte red of the feet tying to the torso. And then you have these hoses, they're painted silver. And this one actually looks like a separate piece, like it's floating above the red. So very neat. There's a dark blue here on the knees and the upper torso, and some yellow as well on the upper torso. There's a peg on the shoulders and a hole in the as well. And then the little side panels, but I think those are glued in place. These are PVC, they're kind of soft. Same with these, nice, so they're good for durability. The bottom of the feet, decent details, some thrusters, really small thrusters, and then yeah, those hoses wrap around to the back, which is neat. Backpack goes there. So the head here, it's got a round peg, which is good because you can get a little bit of articulation left and right, although it does want to just sit straight because it's colliding down here. But if you lift up the peg, you know, it's better than nothing. So the eyes are translucent green. so that's nice. There's some gunmetal flanking them and some red as well in the head. This is a gold metallic paint up here. So let's put the antenna piece here. It seems to be black in the back, and gray with some red in the front. It's rigid plastic, I think, so it will break. I think it's actually 2 pieces. Alright, well anyways, I'm going to pop that in here. Nice long peg, so I don't think it's going to fall out too easily. Okay, so that's the head now. So this arm, we got 2 thrusters here under the shoulder, and recessed is, so you can add, bent details as well. This hand is a separate piece, so it can spin, hold the weapon as well, and there's some gunmetal on the elbows, so that must be for the right arm. Okay, the left arm, we have a shield on it, it's molded in. Well, that's interesting. It doesn't even have a hand. It's just got like a shield weapon, maybe? Maybe there's a beam rifle shield thing? So that's odd. Didn't expect that. Alright, well, the backpack here, I think it's hollow. It's too light to be solid. Anyways, nice thruster details. Very cool. Same dark blue and same matte gray. Dark blue there. And there's a round peg up here, and then the holes for those little accoutrements. So we're going to pop this T-shape into the back now. Wiggle it in. That's a pretty tight fit. Alright. So this probably goes in here. Yeah. I guess they're actually, there is a front and back. They're not identical, so I'm not sure which way it goes. I'm looking at the instructions. Must be printed on both sides. No, it's not. Well, that's interesting. There's no instructions for the Providence, only the Freedom. So I gotta go back to the box art. Well, that's interesting. The box art is they have them backwards. Like this is the back end and that's the front end. So that's interesting. I guess you can just choose to do it the way you want. I think it looks more detailed this way, so I'm gonna do it this way. Now this one is kind of loose. You might want to glue that one in place, or I'm gonna. So the round pegs are for these guys. Is there a front? No, this is pretty much symmetric. Front or back doesn't matter. And it seems to be a different gray. This one is PVC. It can flex. But if you look carefully, maybe, I'm not sure if you'll pick up on it. The gray of this is a little bit different than the gray of the PVC. I suspect this is hard plastic like a model kit, and these are PVC, and somehow it affects the gray paint, or maybe they literally use different grays. Alright, so let's get this on here. I'm not sure if it's supposed to sit flush or not. Seems like it's, I can't get it totally flush. Oh, no, well, maybe. You just gotta press really hard and wiggle it. Okay, so it's interesting. It's really dynamic. It's kind of interesting though that still like there's slots here, and they're pretty deep slots. It kind of just vanishes though. I kind of wish the backpack was a different color, you know, so it'd have contrast versus the rest of the robot. And so this is the big rifle, it looks like. Yeah, standard details molded in. There's a little side grab as well. Now is this, I think this might be rigid plastic as well. That feels rigid. So that goes in here. And alright. So it fits over the shoulder pretty nice. I'm going to pose it downwards. So yeah, it does fall backwards because of that weight. So this might be a case where you actually do want to keep this thing. So it slides over the feet. Oh, but look at this. Oh, wait a sec. I think these gray things are supposed to go in those openings. Let's see if I can get that in there. It's just, these things don't work well. Yeah, the gray things are sitting there. So, yeah. For me, I'm going to probably use poster putty and put it on a piece of acrylic. Because, look, you can't even see the back of the feet. It's just blocking too much. For now, though, I'll just leave it the way it is. Okay, so let's go to the Freedom Gundam here. Alright. Standard details on the bottom. Actually, it's kind of subpar. The legs are kind of plain. There's a little vent detail there, but it's kind of plain. So it's all a matte white and a medium gray color, although the hands look like they could be black or a really dark gray along with the torso. So like it's black here, but this vent is actually gray. It might be hard to pick up. Let me get in closer at a different angle. See, hopefully you can see this is a lighter gray than that black. Alright, this hand is totally molded into the arm, but there's some gunmetal in the elbow and some blue here. This one has the open hand, and I'm assuming it can rotate. Yes, it can. Alright. There's some wings or something here in a gray. Some thrusters, maybe. Alright. There's some gunmetal for the back of the knees. Yeah, alright. And then the backpack is just black. There's some peg holes. We'll add some stuff, probably the wings. And the head, again, is round, so you can get a little left and right movement. Or can you? Hold on. Yeah, you can. Let's try to push it down. But if you push it all the way down, again, it doesn't want to move left and right. So up to you. There's a metallic blue up here. I think the antenna goes there. This one has transparent yellow eyes. Some black and red details there in the face. Cannon details, vent details. Looks pretty good. Alright, a little red up there is nice. Alright, so, yeah, here's the foot thing again. We'll get to that later if we have to. So I'll pop in the antenna here. So again, rigid plastic, I think. Yeah. Careful about that. If you drop it from a bookshelf, I think that'll snap off. Maybe it would be better to do this off the body. I don't know if that's actually in there as much as it's supposed to. I think it is. It seems like it's colliding there. Hard to say. Alright, well, anyways, that's done. I'm now noticing there's a peg post here, probably for this shield. Yeah, alright. The shield has decent enough detail on the backside, better than the feet. I'm not sure why there's a hole there. Maybe something goes in that later. So I like the black and the red line going through it. There's actually some vents, I think, in that shield. Alright, so we have these wings and these little sub-wings. I don't know if they fit into each other or not. This one's labeled R. This one is not labeled at all. Does this pivot? Look at that. That's cool. Oh, it is labeled 2. So let me look at this here. R, 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 2, R, 1. And then what is this? Oh, this thing, look at this. This thing has 3 pieces. Maybe more. Wait, what's this white part? Does this pivot? I don't know. It seems to be a separate piece, but I'm not sure if it's going to rotate separately. The antenna fell off. So what I suspect is this goes in here into the backpack because it's at an angle. Oh no, that shield fell off. And then this wing, which side faces forward? Seems like, oh well, I don't know if it goes in this way. I think it does. Because you don't want to see that from the front. But it, like this, it's not visible. It's kind of a tight fit here. It's very tight. It bothers me. Alright, that's in there fine now. back in. So these blue wings are rigid plastic. I think the only soft bit is this white piece, but it's protected by the rigid pieces. So they could snap, you know, if they fell off a bookshelf. So keep that in mind. And yeah, this is really tight. It's kind of scary. I'm trying to work the paint, you know, so it's a little looser. I don't know if it's all white inside there now. Okay, so I think that's flush now. So folded down mode, just like that, and you could, well, you probably want to hold it there if you're going to pivot it down. Just kind of like that. That thing. So the weapon is kind of nice too. It's got a blue accent going around it, but this little optic here, it's black, but then this is down here, it's gray, so there's multiple colors going on this little gun. Got a little foregrip as well. Hard to get in that hand. A lot of friction there. Okay, so that's nice. And then yeah, the antenna piece is problematic. Sometimes I've clipped off the corner, so it'll start to get into that hole, but then I end up crazy gluing the thing in place. What I feel is that that hole is simply shrunken over time, and it's having a hard time allowing this peg to get in there properly. Alright, that was a lot of force. Hopefully you'll stay for this video. Alright, so here it is from the front view with the wings down. And the rear view. Alright, so this is kind of unsightly, seeing a 1 and an R. Did I do this right? I guess it has to be. I mean, it's hard to say. It doesn't show the back end of this thing. But actually, these are pivoted. I think you can flip-flop these around. Anyways, let's continue on with it in this position, and I'm going to flip them later. So, this... Ooh, that's kind of nuts. Yeah, you could... That's an interesting pose right there. Full spread out. And you can see all the details on this inner white piece pretty nicely now. But I don't think that white piece spins separately from this black piece. I think it's glued together. So they're at like a V pattern right now. You can pivot these up, and obviously pivot them down. And let's fold these up. Okay, so now I'm going to flip-flop some parts around, see what happens. What would happen? Wow, that's really tight, but I guess it's tight so it can hold its pose, but you can see the paint is coming off now. Man. Trying to wiggle it off. So now, what would happen if I put this and so it covers up this R and the 1. Maybe that's the intention. I can't put these in that way. Oh, but you could put them in this way. But then the wing looks weird. Even if it flipped the other one over, it would have one wing up and all the other ones down. So I'm pretty sure this has to go on the right side, looking at it from the back. The R is on the right side. But now you see that exposed hinge point. So you can cover up the R a little bit if you spin this down. Man, that's so tight. Right? But the compromise is you're seeing this hexagon in that circle there. So I think I actually preferred it the other way around, but just thought I'd show you. What I don't really understand is here it looks like they're like almost parallel to the side, but I don't think that's possible. Oh, unless you can skip these parts entirely, maybe, right? So you could just take this and pop it right in here. Right, so let me try that. I gotta get this loose out again. Man, that is so tight. Okay. So yeah, if you forego those two blue pieces, now it's a much more streamlined look, right? And so you can still articulate part of it, but now you'll see where I scraped all that blue plastic before. Alright, interesting. I think I preferred it at the angles myself. I mean, this is nice and compact, I guess, but I prefer the other way around. So let me come back. So it turns out you can take out this Freedom Gundam's left hand and pop in the hand that already has a beam saber attached. That's the one extra part that you might have. I used some poster putty to just mount them to these acrylic discs. I don't like those stands that they come with. So be mindful though, if you put them in backwards and scratch the paint away. See, that's very unsightly. So now I have to always have this wing covering that up. So you probably just want to follow the instructions and not fiddle around with it, because you'll scratch the paint off as I did. You might take some hot water to that beam saber and straighten it out. It's obviously drooping quite a bit. I can't remove it from the hand. It seems to be super glued in there. So, alright, well anyways, here's some images of the robots themselves. They're quite interesting. The wings on these are kind of nice, right? But it's very back heavy, which in this case those 2 foot stands that they gave you actually do make sense as far as keeping them vertical. Alright, well thanks. I don't really have any other Gundams from this Gundam seed, I don't think. So I'm going to just leave it at this and not compare it to other robots. But I'll get some the other robots from this particular animation later on. Alright, see you guys. Bye.